Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the channel as always. Today's video is going to be a bit of a different one simply because it's SND, and I never usually play SND. I never put a gameplay on SND simply because I always find it a bit boring to watch. But I managed to cross my teammate there, unfortunately. And yeah, I managed to get 14 kills and 5 deaths whilst maintaining just over 10-minute game time. So I think it's a pretty action-packed game, and it's on standoff as well, a pretty fast-paced map using a Bullfrog. So it's an unusual video in many ways, S&D and a Bullfrog. So the game, I think this is one of my first games on, and I'm a bit rusty, as you can probably tell. The first mistake back in the beginning of the round was I let my teammate die, and then right there I didn't even see it was him. So I'm playing super rusty. Yeah, this is going to be a format where I basically talk through, again, my decision makings, how I managed to play league play on S&D, and like my thoughts and processes, with my decision making. It should hopefully help you guys if you guys are struggling with S&D on how to improve in S&D as well. Yeah, so make sure you stick around for the good gameplay and some tips and tricks on how to improve your gameplay on league play. So kicking off to the finale of the final round here, we're sort of playing a little bit more passive. And just trying to work out where he is. So I'm trying to get into a decent position to be able to protect bomb. Now my instinct to check bomb there was simply because there was just too much time had passed. Unfortunately, I've already skipped around here, so I'm a round in. Yeah, I think too much time had passed. He wasn't going to cross mid. He wasn't going to go all around A side. So my instinct was that he was going to go back round, wrap round alley, and work his way. Well, he wasn't coming straight, so he could have wrapped round A or wrapped round alley. And either way, he'd have jumped on bomb without me seeing him. So I had to check. It could have got me killed, but my instinct wasn't that he'd have backed up straight to brown. Yeah, so that was how that decision was made. Now this is quite a nice rush route if you're able to rush. If you do the stutter sprint when you have your pistol out, easy for me to say, not quite. With the stutter, I don't know what's going on here. You can literally pretty much run straight through A, all the way through to the statue or the tank, and it gets you in a pretty good position. You pretty much cleared out A, and they've only got the opportunity to go to B. Now I think I was getting slightly greedy here. I don't have to overextend myself that much. I think as soon as you've got mid-map control and their base control, you don't really need to extend much further than that. But I think I was just going a bit hungry for kills and trying to troll with a Bullfrog. I will leave the Bullfrog class in the description, I think. I have used a video. I used it in the video before, so I might just list that with the setup for that. Standoff is one of those maps on S&D which I actually don't mind. It's quite a fun map. It's one of the better ones in my opinion, just because of its size, really. You can get from A to B pretty quickly. It's not like Raid where you've got to pretty much go around the whole map to get to B, or Miami where it takes you about half a minute to get from one site to the next. So we're going for the APUS here, if you can probably tell, and we've just got our ARs doing absolute bits, just trying to overlook, really, just play a bit more passive. I think we're just playing a bit more patient here, simply due to the fact we're trying to get one more pick. And manage to get that. I'm also sort of trying to play for my streaks, because if you manage to get streaks on this, trying to be a bit cheeky here as well. Take too much damage, however. Once you get streaks on this map, you really are in a good position, simply due to the fact that both bomb sites are well open. Yeah, so this is in a pretty good position for us to be in. I've got the whole of this sort of side covered. I sort of have, if I keep switching like I am now, I've got the statue push as well as the right-hand side push covered while my teammate sort of watches back alley, like so. Managed to pick up the kill. I'm currently 10-1, so you're probably thinking the rest of the video is not worth watching because I only get 14 kills. But it is. Make sure you stick around because the end result obviously is pretty good. So this is a good start, first few killer rounds, and I do have streaks, so things are looking good. Now, even though this isn't the best gameplay for me, I'm hoping you'll be able to learn from the mistakes I make on the later rounds of this, as well as what I'm doing well, and hopefully help you guys improve your S&D game as well. simply due to the fact I don't often put out SND games. Most of my games use either hardpoint or control because they're the big number games. They're big kills. I'm able to drop 40, 50 bombs, and I think that's more entertaining. But I thought I'd showcase this one simply due to the fact I did get streaks, and it is a good start. And I do think we play pretty good as a team here, as a 4-man. And I'm using the Bullfrog, which is always fun to see. So right here, I know there's... I don't know what I'm doing here. The shots are a bit wacky. Managed to get that kill. I know one guy's now where I last shot him. He's on pretty much B-bomb, and one guy was back alley. So my head's either thinking... And I did just hear a trophy go down, so they're sort of... This area generally. And I cocked up there. He heard me come in. I think that there's two things that happened. My shots were slightly off, and he had the better gun. I think maybe if, even though he had better shots, I think I would have maybe been able to kill him before he killed me if I had a 74U. And as you can see, he was one shot. So I think having the 74U would have made that difference. But I also did miss shots. My hipfire wasn't great, and my tracking wasn't great. But as I say, don't be too harsh, guys. It was my first game on. I mean, this gameplay is an old gameplay as well, to be fair. I don't know what level I am or what rank I am. I'm currently sort of going through the archives of what I've got left of Cold War, because I don't feel like you guys are going to be wanting to see many Cold War gameplays when Vanguard's out. That's a good question, actually. For those of you still watching, if you guys are watching, I appreciate it. I always enjoy that. But for those of you still watching, when Vanguard comes out, are you going to move on to Vanguard content, or are you going to stick with Cold War content? Are you going to come back and watch Cold War? It'd be interesting to see, because I know when Cold War came out, a lot of followers of Modern Warfare maintained their subscriptions with Modern Warfare posters, and a lot of content creators, for example, Handler being one of them, he's an S&D player, absolutely cracked out his mind. He strongly played S&D MW Modern Warfare 2019, and he played that all the way through Cold War. Yeah, so is that going to be a similar thing? Are people going to still prefer to watch Cold War over Vanguard? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. So we win that round. We had a pretty good start. We, got ahead of them in kills pretty quickly, and managed to get a bomb down. So I think it was a 3-1 or 4-1 advantage there. So we pretty much, owned the map. They didn't really have much of a chance with a 4-1 clutch with us watching the angles we were. Now they haven't pushed A yet, so I think my approach here is exactly the same as normal. So run straight through, get to this point, and hopefully they're now forcing to be. But I think this is where I get over cocky. This is where I get. I mean, I saw that guy when I'm watching this back. I must have been looking at the map. I must have been looking. I don't know where I was looking. I wasn't looking where I should have been, and I get absolutely screwed from the guy behind the yellow car. That's one of my first silly deaths. Yeah. So to avoid that, I mean, my guy's going off HS with the absolute beams. He got unfortunate timing there as well. So it's 1v2 for that teammate, and yeah. So to improve on my mistake of dying there, I would simply say watch your screen. That's unfortunate. You could have waited a little bit longer there. It's COD timing for you at its finest. Let's just watch my man's lovely two-piece once again. Slide cancel into the backwards jump. And got unfortunate COD timing right there. Bear in mind, the guys on the other team were giving us absolute shit. So we really wanted to win this game. Now, I'm calling out to my teammates. I've got 2 streaks already. Let's just go away. I can then call out my streaks. As long as I stay alive. We need 2 to win. Really, we could be winning this with streaks. So we've got a teammate on A already. So I do call out my streaks just to try and clear them away from A. So we can get an easy plan. Managed to pick up a kill and communicate to my team exactly where the rest of them are. Annoyingly, he absolutely shattered me, and he didn't appear on the radar. But thankfully, my teammate was there to pick up the kill, get my limb. Right there. That's the annoying thing when they have cold-blooded. When they know you have streaks, they could have a cold-blooded class in their back pocket, and on a map like this, they're going to put it on. So that was essentially my fault. I mean, he was one shot. Like how weak the guy was. Again, if I had the 74, it may have been a different story, but costing my teammate life and my own by not seeing him on the street. But it is what it is. You can't do much if they are cold-blooded, because essentially all you are looking for is those red squares. Moving on to defense. Have a guess where I'm going to go this round. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. There we go. I don't go away for the first defense this game. So my teammates communicated that they're going to be going A, and essentially I have streaks, so I can play Creddy over here at B, and as long as they don't get it down at B, I should be in a good position. So I've been stunned there. They're going to know I'm there, so I'm sort of slowly backing up. I do not want to get caught off by one or two of them jump around that corner knowing exactly where I am. It's going to be a nightmare for me, and I want to avoid that situation at all times. So I've been stunned. I'll slowly back up and just purely wait for them to come around the corner. So I know that there's one or two at least, I'd say, actually, based off the utilities they've used at me, a couple grenades and a stun this way. So I'm just biding my time here. Lovely jump shot over cover, if I say so myself. And it's 4v1. So unless we severely cock up here, we win this round. Again, I don't know how I'm losing that. I remember at the time I was looking at the mini-map, or I was looking at something. I don't know what I was looking at, but it was shocking. So that's the dub. 6-3. I could have been full 15 and full, but I cocked at this. I wasn't looking where I was going. Somehow it looked like I was already weak. I don't know what's happening. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.